Season 2 of Power. Recap. Basically, for Season 2, it was like, these are the consequences of the fallout of all the decisions, rather, that was made in Season 1. Now when you start this season, Kanan's home. You know that who the girl is. You know that they know it's a female, and Ghost and Tommy are going to be looking to try to locate this girl as they try to find out a way to distribute all of these drugs that Ghost said bring everything they had in, because he needed to make money fast out of a very emotional decision. Now he's got to deal with the fact of, how am I going to move all this stuff? Because he has to resolve a situation between two rival gangs, in which he escalated himself by eliminating someone who turned out to be innocent. So he still believes. So as this comes in, Kanan reintroduces himself back to Ghost, and he's kind of like learning the ropes as he wants to take over the business. His plan is to kill Ghost, learn everything he can from Tommy, meet Lobos, get connected with Lobos, then eliminate Tommy and run the whole business. Because he's under impression Tommy and Ghost set him up and sent him to jail. So while all of this is going on, all of this other elements started to play out. You started to see the nightclub owner put the screws to Ghost and get the best of him. And Ghost is distracted. He's trying to keep Angela off his back as he finds out for the first time she is an AUSA agent. Now he's got to deal with trying to keep Tommy from killing her, and trying to steer and find out what all she knows, and is she really investigating him or what she's investigating. So he goes to Miami, finds the girl, the hitter, takes care of her, but not quite. Somebody else got to her before he did. But she did tell him that it wasn't the guy, that he was correct. It wasn't the guy that he thought that did the hit. So after this, he's basically in a catch-22 situation where now he's stuck. Like, he still wants to find out who hired the person, because now the person told him someone else did the hiring. Meanwhile, Kanan is learning the ropes, learning what all they're doing, and he's back on the team. So while Ghost is there, Tommy is all of a sudden pro Kanan, because Kanan taught him everything he knows. Brings Kanan in a little too fast. Kanan ends up killing Q-Dubs, the leader of the gang. And once that happens, it really was by strategy, because now he can just bring his crew in there and take over that territory, which was once his before he went to jail. So now more money is coming towards his crew and his team. They're getting the product back. They're back in business. Now, here's the problem. Kanan is starting to sense that maybe Ghost is kind of figuring things out. So he went to lay low for a while and let his crew run the territory and not be around so much. Ghost is kind of figuring out that maybe Kanan is behind a lot of this stuff. And all of these moves that they're trying to make, and Angie's getting close. She's leaning towards arresting Tommy. She tells Ghost about who she is, and she knows the name Ghost. She just doesn't know who it is. And then you have the Holly situation. You know, Holly's nosy. She wants to be in the business. She wants to know what's going on. And a person like that is very dangerous. Tommy loves her to death. He gives her his mother's ring. And, at the end, Ghost needs her out of the way because it's keeping Tommy distracted and he's all messed up because he loves her. So he pays her money to leave, but not before she's picked up by the cops, start running off at the mouth, and talking about she's going to help put Ghost away. And Tommy flips out. She just really leaves anyway and leaves town, only to come back at the end and say, Ghost sent me away, but I don't want to leave. But not before there's a showdown with Kanan and Ghost. Kanan kills his own son once Kanan tried to manipulate Sean into killing Ghost. And Sean couldn't do it. Tasha's confused and emotionally distraught about the fact she's losing her husband to another woman. Becomes so vulnerable, she ends up having sex with Sean, sleeping with him, the only person that showed her any affection during this whole season. There is a Lala scene where she takes her top off just for ratings and really had no bearing on the show or the series whatsoever. It was almost like a write-in piece. So now that, at the end, Sean's gone, her first thoughts is Ghost killed Sean. So I figured her and Tommy would be working together starting off the season for the next season because of the way it was set up. Because now Ghost ends up eliminating all ties to him. He tells Ruiz to get out of town, take his family and go, while the Serb and everybody else were eliminated. Shot, completely eliminated, out of the business. So now that they're all eliminated and he didn't cut all ties from people who actually known and seen his face, Ghost could actually disappear. Only if Lobos had actually died. He probably would have had a shot at being out of the game completely. But the hit on Lobos didn't work. Lobos is still alive. And now he's completely out the game. Tommy's like, look, I'm going to run the game. I just don't want you to deal with you no more. We are done. Dre takes his advice, comes over, and joins Ghost. Tommy didn't show up for the final battle with Ghost and Kanan, in which at the end you see Kanan escapes through the door after Ghost left him there to die and set the place on fire. So now this is where we are going into season 3. Stay tuned as I will give you episode by episode breakdown of season 3.